Hi, this is Jason, and this is my daily vlog called Living with CMT. I hope you enjoy. Good evening, folks. It's Sunday evening, the 4th of November. The fireworks are going off like mental at the moment. And I've just actually realised something that I never knew. I've been doing Movember since 2013, bear in mind. And I've always, come November, grown the beard and the moustache. Just not shaved, basically, for 30 days. And I've just looked and I've got something downloaded from their official site, and it's the rules. And rule 1 says, once you're registered at Movember.com, each Mobro must begin the 1st of November with a clean shaven face, which I did, yeah. Rule 2, this is what I didn't know actually, for the entire month of Movember, each Mobro must grow and groom a moustache. But rule 3 is don't fake it. No beards, no goatees, and no fake moustaches. Now, I always grow a beard and let it all grow, the full lot. I never just grow a moustache, so that's something I didn't even know. So, I've been actually making Deb suffer for 5 years, and all I needed to do was grow a moustache. But I actually grow the full lot, the beard and the moustache, because I just look strange with a moustache. Rule 4, it says, use the power of the moustache to create conversation and raise funds for men's health. And rule 5, which is the most important rule for any man who knows this, each Mobro must conduct himself like a true gentleman. Wow, of course, that's second nature to me, so I don't need to worry about that. No, I'm only joking. I try and be a gentleman where I can. Funny enough, that makes me think that even though I have got my disability, and even though I know that basically I have got reason to expect some more courtesy and politeness from people when they see me with my stick, etc., etc. If I'm on a bus and I'm sitting in the disabled seats or at the front of the bus, whatever, even though I'm sitting there with my stick, if I see an older person get on, I will automatically stand up and go to move to the back of the bus. And I don't have to, don't get me wrong, there's nothing that says I have to stand up. But I cannot, in myself, stay seated while somebody older than me stands. I just can't do it. I don't know whether you all feel the same way. I don't know whether you all feel that even though you have got your disability, you still don't want to be looked at as somebody with a horrible attitude, somebody who just thinks of themselves and nothing else. Because that's a mistake as well, because obviously you can get very self-righteous with things like this. You can start saying to yourself, well, I am disabled, so you lot have to do everything you can to help me. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. You have to help yourself. Don't get me wrong, there are times when I do need help. Like when we finish shopping in Sainsbury's and I book a taxi, I always book a saloon car because I know I cannot get in and out of a black cab. No chance. I might be able to get in it, but I won't be able to get out of it because the problems I have with my spine. Now, when you've got these problems with your spine, straightening up and bending really do not do it any favours. Now, yes, you might think, well, hang on a minute, I'm sitting down all the time here, but I've got a special seat, I've got a special reinforced chair, and I've also got padding and all that. You don't get that in a black cab. You get rough seats that basically make you sit sort of as straight back as I can get my hands. They make you sit almost straight, like an L shape. And when you've got a bad spine, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. Yesterday, I stated that today I would be doing the last part of my story. Now, it panned out today, and I finished it today, but there's 2 parts. I cannot read it all out in one final episode tonight, because if I do, I will be having a 30-minute video, and I'm not doing a 30-minute video for anybody, because 1, I wouldn't want to bore the pants off people, and 2, I don't think I could read for that long, actually. My eyes wouldn't focus on the screen to read that much stuff in one go. So it'll be in 2 parts. I would just like to remind people that I still have 2 books out. I have a poetry book and I have a fantasy novel. Now, I'm not doing this to promote them. What I'm doing this is because, remember what I've actually stated, that anybody buying my books in the month of October and November, any money I get from the sales will be going to the Movember Foundation. So if you don't want to donate, but you would like to buy my book, you will be donating anyway. So you will be getting something for donating. Yeah. Me book sales have kind of petered off a bit. I've sold 21, which is fair enough. I haven't sold any for about 11 days now. But then again, it's one of those things where I've got to keep promoting them and keep reminding people. And Facebook, to be honest, Facebook and Twitter are the two best avenues. The people who've actually read my poetry book have left me nice reviews, which is good. I've got a really positive review on Amazon. I've been promoting it on a place called Smash Bomb. I've introduced them to it because they'd never heard of it. A lot of my forums, I've been putting details of my books on there. And obviously with writing this short story for my vlog, I've not really concentrated on any other writing because I wanted to make sure this was something people would enjoy, which is obviously why it's in, I think it's going to be in 9 parts or 10 parts in total. It's amazing me because once I start writing, literally it just writes and writes and writes and writes and writes. And like I said, today I've definitely finished it. I've finished it. It's all ended. And I'm happy with how it's ended. I'm happy with the actual story. It's come out a lot better than I wanted it to. I had an idea in my head of what I wanted to do, and basically I've just stretched it out and made it from a few thoughts in my head into a full short story. But I hope you enjoy it, actually. Like I said, the next to last part, the penultimate part is coming up in this video. Now, I'm not going to talk about the news today because I haven't really looked at the news today. I've had a quiet day. I've done surveys. Obviously, I've done writing, quite a lot of writing, about 2 hours worth of writing. I've also edited it as well, so that when I do read it out, I can actually make sense of my own words. Because I have got an habit of spelling words wrong and not checking until 6 or 7 paragraphs later and wondering why it don't make sense. So I've done that. But other than that, today, I've mainly been watching football, which I started about 2 o'clock, and I watched the foreign football. If you heard that bang then in the background, that was a firework going off not far from where I live. I don't know whether you could hear it or not, but it was quite loud. Yeah, so I haven't been doing a lot tonight. I watched a film last night. It was a film with, let me just get his name right now, Mark Wahlberg, called Contraband. If you like your films where they are good films, don't get me wrong, it's a good film. The only thing that lets me down is the ending, because it's not realistic. It's not realistic at all, in no way, shape or form, and that's the only thing that let it down. But it's a really good, the basis of it is a man who gets drawn back into the smuggling ring when his sister's brother ends up falling foul of a drug kingpin, basically. And he has to try and help him out. That isn't a spoiler. That is actually what the story reads that it's about. But I'd give it 7. I'd give it 7 out of 10. It's not too bad. I'll be giving it a rating on Smash Bomb later. But for now, I would say 7 out of 10. Now, what I did do last night as well after it is I went through Netflix and added about 20 or 30 more films into my list, which I'll be watching on a nightly basis. So I'll be doing movie reviews as well. If you're interested, I'll be doing movie reviews. Other than that, like I say, it's been a quiet day. And after I've done this video, I'm going to watch a bit more football because I've got 3 French matches to catch up on. I don't think I'll get a movie in tonight. But if I do, I'll leave a review tomorrow. But after this, it's Lucky You. And now, Lucky You, the penultimate episode. He noticed before he had entered the gate that all the curtains in the bungalow were drawn and that a sliver of light, no doubt from a lamp, was the only thing that penetrated the window. He entered into a standard hall. He flicked on the light and guessed that anyone seeing it would just think it was Jean returning home from bingo. The hallway was narrow, with a coat hook on the left as he entered. There were a couple of coats here, including the small jacket that Jean had been wearing in the park. He guessed she had a coat for all occasions. Or did have. He dismissed the accusatory tone of the once again whispering voices and moved down the hallway. On the right was an open archway that led to a small but very organised and clean living room. A small plasma TV stood in the corner, the remote on a coffee table that was sitting in front of a two-seater brown leather sofa. There was a matching recliner in the corner, and he could see from the light from the single lamp in the room that there was a thin layer of dust on it. He realised that this must have been where Alex sat, and Jean didn't want to disturb the happy memories associated with it. He looked around the room guiltily, as if he could sense Alex looking at him from the chair with disgust. He quickly moved through to a small dining room. A table was set with just one placing. It was ready for the next meal, the one that now would not happen. He walked through to a clean kitchen and observed dishes on a drainer from the night's earlier meal, he guessed. A door led through to another small corridor, and from this there were just two doors either side and a glass-panelled door that must lead out into the back garden. He tried the first door and immediately was hit by the smell of lavender and rose. The bathroom was a sickly pink colour, and he quickly closed the door to stop the overpowering floral stench. Turning to face the last door, he had a disturbing notion that someone was on the other side. Alex had not died, but was lying asleep, waiting for his wife to return from bingo. He dismissed this as nonsense, as he'd heard Jean refer to Alex as her late husband. He pressed the handle down and entered. He found the light pole just inside the room, and it illuminated a large room that he guessed at some point had contained a double bed. He could see the imprints deep in the carpet from the bed legs, but now it contained a single bed with a flower-printed duvet pulled down at the corner. He stood for a few minutes and took in the rest of the room. A wardrobe sat in the corner of the room with a suitcase on top. Another high-backed chair stood a few feet away from it. Against the far wall was a chest of drawers, and at the side of the bed was a small dressing table. There was a closet door on the wall to the left as he entered, and the curtains on the window were drawn. He wondered where to start. He decided to start with the closet, as it was as good a place as any. Opening the door, he could see several pairs of shoes, men's shoes. He guessed that Jean couldn't bring herself to get rid of them, and so had just decided instead to store them in here. There were several boxes that contained photos and figures that must have taken up too much space. He knew that sometimes people who had too much stuff and didn't want to get rid of it would often rotate it so that at least once a year everything got to see some daylight. At the back of the closet was a boxed Christmas tree and a smaller box marked decorations. He thought it unlikely that Jean would have stored the money there, call it a hunch. Closing the closet door, his next thought was the suitcase on top of the wardrobe. He had to reach up to lift it down, and remembering how small Jean was, he concluded that there was no way she could lift the case up and down every time she'd been paid. His suspicions were verified when he pulled it towards him and ended up with a face full of dust. He pushed the case back and started to cough as the dust settled in his throat. Where the hell was the money? Maybe she was lying. You killed her for nothing. I didn't kill her, it was an accident. He realised he'd answered the voices back and sat down on the edge of the bed. He knew there were only two places left, and he knew that one of them would contain personal items, really personal, clothing and underwear. Even now he was reluctant to look. That's why he had chosen the closet and suitcase first. He looked from one to the other and decided on the chest of drawers. Looking at a small clock on the bedside cabinet, he could see that it was 4:15 and he had wasted another hour. At this time of year, it didn't get light too early, and he knew he still had some time to look. The first two drawers contained small underwear, and he closed them quickly. The third one contained trousers and tops. The bottom drawer he opened slowly, as if sensing this could be the jackpot. He was left disappointed, as it contained various cushion covers and pillowcases. There was only one place left, but it confused him, as it didn't appear to be very big and had only two drawers. Maybe the money was in large bills, 50s maybe. Again, he dismissed the idea as ridiculous. Who got paid in 50s from the government? He sat at the top of the bed and opened the first drawer. Inside were various pill bottles and containers. He picked up a couple absently. Sleeping pills, cocodamol, even Rennie. They'd all been stripped from their original packaging and placed in different coloured bottles, each with a handwritten label. He dropped them back in the drawer, and other than the glasses cases and a flyer for the bingo, it was empty. The final part, tomorrow. I've decided to finish today with a poem I wrote a while ago called Hidden, and it's basically about looking inside me, finding all about me and discovering myself. I hope you enjoyed. It's called Hidden. If I dream solely of light, will I forever deny the dark? If I just live my life dull, will I forever miss the spark? And if I let truth rule me, will I deny that there are lies? For within my heart I see the life, and not the fake disguise. As the sun sets on my day, will I cover up the night? If the good in me surfaces, will that really be right? Suffuse my emotions and cast a spell of deceit. A life so messed up inside could never look so neat. If I talk sense, will I hide the jumble in my mind? If I say I have a vision, will it maybe make me blind? When I search through my feelings, I find both good and bad. Will the smile that lies upon my face betray that I am sad? Look at me and see what you see, but please look deep. Don't be scared by the facade. I give emotions, never sleep. With eyes that tell you stories, and sometimes even more. Wonder what I am inside, and be positive, be sure. Thank you. If you're enjoying the videos I'm doing and you want to see more, you can subscribe by clicking the link there. And if you want to see my exciting day from yesterday, you can click up there. Thank you again for taking the time to watch my videos. Bye for now.